Now we're going to talk about operating leverage. Okay, so this is, you could think of it as leverage from operations or um, your change in earnings for interest and taxes over your change in sales percentage wise. Um, so let's look and see how that is for this particular spuds and suds example. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to now forecast what's going to happen in 2021. So I'm going to copy from B4 to B27. I'm going to drag this over to C4 to C27. We're going to insert a row above the tax rate. And let's call this projected sales growth. So in C24, this will be equal to 10%. So now in C21, our unit sales are going to increase by that amount. So this will be equal to B21 multiplied by 1 plus that growth rate of 10%. So B21 times 1 plus C24. And that'll get you 171,875. So you can see that has modified our spreadsheet accordingly. Let's go back and make sure that is 400,000 for the fixed expense. Interest expense is also 100,000. And preferred dividends is 100,000. So now everything has checked out. Common shares outstanding are also 1,000,000, not 1,000,001. Okay. So then everything looks like it's checked out. I'm going to delete the target EBIT for this one. Okay. All right. So now, next thing we'll do is we're going to look at how things have changed. So we're going to calculate percentage change in sales from prior year, and then percentage change in EBIT from the prior year. So this is going to be equal to, this first one is 2,750,000 C5 divided by B5. And I'm also going to subtract 1 from that. For the percentage change in EBIT, that is C8 divided by B8 minus 1. Let's get both of those to be percentage changes. So you can see here the projected sales growth, obviously that matches up, should be 10%. And then the percentage change in the EBIT is a little bit higher at 16.67%. Okay, so that's kind of a leverage or an additional factor, if you will. That's why we call it leverage. It's higher than what you would actually think it is. So to measure our degree of operating leverage, what we will now do is calculate that. So skip a line, degree operating leverage will be equal to these two numbers divided by each other, the percentage change in EBIT over percentage change in sales. And this is a number, so you should get 1.67. So with leverage, a couple of things to note is that it amplifies profits, but it also amplifies losses. Okay. So any change in sales is being magnified by 1.667 times in EBIT. So we saw in this case sales went up by 10%, but if sales go down by 10%, so let me just change this briefly to minus 10%. EBIT should have, it also filled up the amount, yeah. if EBIT went up by 20%, you can see percentage change in the EBIT goes up by 33%. So I'll change it back to 10. One additional thing we want to do here is that another way we can calculate degree of operating leverage is the following. So the other way with this particular formula and this one, we're going to want to make sure that this particular formula, there's a chance that you could divide by 0, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is use a function called f_error. So the value for this is going to be equal to parentheses B5 minus B6. So I'm just taking the difference from sales and variable costs. And then I'm going to divide that by B8 for this formula, so where B8 is equal to EBIT. And then I'll do comma, and then use the NA function. So comma, NA, parentheses, it takes no arguments, and then hit enter. And then you can see it's still 1.67 using this methodology. But because I could potentially be divided by something that's 0, if that happens, I want to put NA instead of getting an error. All right, so those are two ways you can calculate degree of operating leverage.